We are all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. And business, we talk a lot about business here. Let's get down to business. You're on with your guest host, Elisheva Klein. We are also on with Miriam Ament from No Shame on You. We want to talk a little bit with her about mental health and work-life balance. So Miriam is going to talk to us about her organization, No Shame on You. No Shame on You is a very important organization. It is helping people get through some of the darkest times of their life. I went to many of her events, and they really shine a light on mental health and how to get through some of these challenges. And some of the things that I think are so important are taking that time for yourself and making sure that you really take that time and take a seat back and, you know, make sure that you're doing the right thing for yourself and looking into what makes you happy. You know, it's not worth, any job isn't worth it if you're miserable. You know, of course, you got to have the money, you got to be able to put food on the table, but your sanity is worth a lot. So soon we'll be speaking with her. Right now, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some techniques that you can use to help yourself relax and get more into a better mindful space. Take your breaks. It's important to take breaks during the day. You know, you get so wrapped up in your work that sometimes it's hard to take a step back and take a break. But you know what? You got to do it. You got to take those breaks for yourself and take time to just reflect on the day. Catch your breath. If you feel like your heart rate is speeding up and you're nervous and you're anxious, take a deep breath. Take a moment. Nothing's going to happen in that moment, you know? Just like that. Try to stay positive. You know, it's very easy for us to get into a negative space and to start thinking negatively. But try to focus on the things that make you happy and focus on the positive. You know, instead of saying, oh, today's going to be such a hard day. Oh my gosh, it's horrible. Say, you know what? Today was challenging, but tomorrow will be better. There's a lot of ways that we can, in our everyday, you know, just get back on track. And so now we're going to speak with Miriam Ament. From No Shame on You. Hi, Miriam.
Hey, Ellie. How are you?
Good, thank God. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
My pleasure. So tell us a little bit about your organization.
Sure. So No Shame on You is a nonprofit dedicated to eliminating the stigma associated with mental health conditions and raising mental health awareness. And we achieve this in a number of ways. Our goal is to get people the help that they need, to connect people to resources, and to save lives. And we achieve our mission by outreach programs, classes, and workshops. We have a big online presence of nearly 75,000 followers. We also go to fairs, parades, and festivals where we distribute resources like our fact sheets and crisis information magnets. And we've marched 3 years in a row at the Skokie 4th of July parade, proudly holding our banner. And we also do educational presentations. So those are the number of ways that we do what we do. We also, people write us in to connect them to resources and sometimes just to talk. I've been open about the fact that I was hospitalized 3 times for depression and faced stigma. This was over 15 years ago, and I faced stigma when I was hospitalized. And so because I've been open, sometimes people call in. I'm not a clinician, but they just want to talk to someone who gets it and understands what it's like to go through a rough time.
You know, it's very important what you're doing right now, and I feel like, you know, right now there is a lot of stigma associated with mental health, but hopefully I feel like, you know, it's becoming, you know, the younger generation is more open to talking about mental health and you know what people are going through that are not on the surface. So can you tell us a little bit about what we can do, let's say, to help someone that we notice is going through a hard time?
Yes, so there are a number of things to do. So first of all, if someone's in a crisis, if God forbid you think they're in a crisis, there's a 24/7 national hotline, 1-800-273-TALK, 1-800-273-8255. There's also a 24/7 crisis text line, which is 741-741. So those are national crisis lines available 24/7 to help someone in a crisis. And then if someone not in a crisis, but sometimes they just need help, I think listening is one of the most important things you can do, and asking, and not saying step out of it, and not saying it's not really so bad, but understanding that their reality is really hard for them. And even if you can't relate to what that reality is, being there to listen, being there to understand, saying, what can I do to help? Can I go shopping with you? Do you want me to help you go to the doctor? All of that kind of support can be so, so helpful for someone going through a tough time.
For sure. So can you tell us a little bit about how people can reach you and get a hold of you if there's an issue and they want to discuss, or they want to have maybe you come to their school, or to be able to talk to more people about what you're doing and how they can be of help, or how they can maybe educate more people on mental health?
Sure. So our website is noshameonu.org. That's NOSHAMEONU. That's the letter U.org. So we have a lot of resources on there, and you could contact me from there. Also, we happen to be having our big 4th annual event in just a few weeks, where our whole board will be there, and we'll have a lot of supporters there. And we're featuring Dr. Kay Redfield Jameson, who is a professor of psychiatry at Johns Hopkins University and also lives with bipolar disorder. So she's going to talk about professional and personal insights of living with bipolar disorder, and it should be a very, very special evening, showing how you can live with a